Hey, how's it going? No, this thing's actually. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, cool. Hey,
Hello.
hey, Erica, how's it going? Hey, Norm.
Wait, hold on. I'm having a hold on. Wait, let me mute.
Didn't expect it, but we're happy.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week, man. It's been almost
I'm
24
so
hours.
excited because I just had it on your page. It just was sitting there. And I'm over here watching the Lakers game and I just saw your message pop up. I was like, yes. I'm
Yeah,
lurking. I was lurking.
I'm with you on that one.
I was like,
yeah.
I need you, Will. Come on, Will.
It's a lot going on, man. I think the market's frothiness is cooling down, so a lot going on. A lot of things with price, man. It's kind of crazy. It's following the last leg, and they've actually managed to drag this thing out to a point where I think, another week or so, if they hold these levels, we could pop up again.
I've been keeping up with because Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah,
I
there's been
like
a lot.
I like I like it. I like them.
Yeah, no, they're great for sure.
And it's
A lot
like
of,
enough people, like it's enough people that they have on there, so it's like not biased, you know?
yeah, and everybody kind of has their own opinion. So that's one thing that everybody tries to respect is everybody else's opinion. Some people are like super bullish, some people are kind of neutral, and then some are bearish. So
I mean, they've been on, oh well, like last week they were on Pepe's D hard.
hmm hmm
But
yeah,
I mean, but they rounded it off. Like it wasn't like they were um like pushing the coin. They were just like, hey, I'm really excited. They were like just super excited about it for themselves. They weren't like, what do you
they weren't
call
telling
it?
people to
What
go buy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that usually gives the wrong impression. That's not something. That's not a way you want to come across to people. Is you don't want to come across like you're trying to sell them something because like that's it's not a good look, right? This is why I never like try to take us like, hey guys, go buy this shit coin or something like that because it's a bad look. Um, yeah, I mean Pepe ran. It's dumping pretty hard. We'll see where it goes from here. I think one guy posted earlier today, like I like him. Like he's a cool guy, super edgy. There's a couple edgy guys that run that, whole PayPay thing too. But like the one guy posted today, like, oh yeah, I took 100 mil off, yada yada. PayPay is going to pass Bitcoin. It's like, bro, if you thought PayPay was going to pass Bitcoin, you wouldn't have shaved off 100 mil. If you took off 100 mil, it's like people and their convictions make zero sense on what they're talking about half the time. They try to sound super bullish, but then they say the wrong things that like tell you that there's other intentions there. Um, yeah, yeah. As far as markets go, I've been looking into a lot of different things. Really looking at Warren Buffett's portfolio, kind of throwing me off a little bit with his Paramount push. He made a sizable move into Paramount Global, which I'm trying to figure out why he did that because Paramount Global's doing horrible. So I'm very curious on what made him think that that was a good idea. Outside of that, the rest of his positions are good. He's positioned really heavily into staples. So like Coca-Cola, if you look at Coca-Cola since 2020, it's been only up, even though the bear market's been doing very well. But that's how it tends to go, right? Even if people are poor, they're still gonna buy Coke. Um, and then same thing with like Heinz and stuff like that. He's pretty heavily vested in them too. Ketchup, mustard, obviously staples, things that you eat or use with your food, condiments, stuff like that. So I think there's a lot there to take in. Usually when you're looking at those type of moves, you're looking at people with recessionary fear. That's the way I take it. Because if you're more bullish or on the bullish side, portfolio wise, you would be more heavily into tech sectors and so on and so forth. He does have a sizable position in like semiconductors, Taiwan semiconductors, but that's pretty much it right there as far as like what he's vested in. So that maybe that's like his risk move. I don't know. I don't understand his move with semis either. Semis don't make any sense if you're looking at recessionary periods. So I'm a little bit curious on that. Bitcoin overall. Let's run through the charts. Let me get my Zoom open real quick. Share screen. All right, got the right one. So, as you can see, there's no manipulation here. I want everybody to be very clear. I haven't manipulated anything on here. This is what we call a channel, right? So I took the channel across the lows, and that's what establishes your angle for your highs, right? And then I rolled it up to the highest point in the chart, and Bitcoin pretty much came up, tapped that, and is rejecting off of it. So a lot of things can happen here. A lot of things can happen here. This could be the top of the move, right? Which would mean that the short I'm in currently will print very well. Or Bitcoin's on a potential breakout position, right? Because if we got above a falling channel, which is basically a bull flag, by the way, for those of you who don't know what a falling channel is, if we got above that, we could probably shoot all the way up to like 32, maybe 35 push, right? If we shoot up here, we'll probably retrace back down, hit that 25, 26 later, and then start moving off of that, right? Once you break out of this, you're not going to reviolate this position. So as long as we understand that, we know we're in a good spot, right? As far as upside. No low bottoms. Yeah, no, there is. There 100% is a potential for a low bottom. If we don't get out of this bear flag, you got the middle here, which basically brings you back down to the lows, right? By the time you end up down here, you'd probably double bottom and end up right back around 16, 15K. If you end up on the low end of this, because keep in mind, these moves don't move directly down except for like what occurred here, right? This was a fast move, reactionary move against fast move, and then a slow bleed, right? That's what you want. So if we were to start pushing downward from here, we would probably come down and violate the center here first. If we were to continue to hold that, we could break out of that, right? So that would be a move I'd be looking for, is a breakout if that were to happen. And that would be like one big W, right? Be like a W breakout. Going into the halving, that would push you all the way up. You catch your bluff top, market would dump. If we were to get even more bearish and things were to get worse, significantly worse, then there would be potential to not only hit this zone, but violate it and come back down here to the lows, right? And by the time you would end up down here, you'd be pretty low, right? You'd be very low. So that's always a possibility too. It just, and all I'm doing here is, this isn't me being bearish or bullish. This is me just understanding the channel, right? You got to respect the move. You got to respect the pattern that's playing out. You got the mid market here. You got the high market here. You got the attempted high market here. You got the bounce out the middle here. You get the drop down to the low. You're holding that low, right? And then you push up off that low. And now you're hitting your high. And really, you could even double top here. And if you double top there, that could probably create an M formation move to where the market may tank. Now, one thing you want to see, ideally, if you're looking for the market to come down, is you're looking for this move, right? See how they basically ran the market up, ran it back down to the middle, made an attempt to go for the high, didn't touch it, right? Came up short and then dumped. That's what you want to see if you're a bear, right? You want to see that if you're a bear. If you're a bull, you want to see basically a retest of the support, which would be probably a pull down. You could break out here, right? Because you've had so many tests in the zone. So if you got to break out here, great. But I can tell you, if you break out here, you're not going to get the same momentum. Like, people start talking about 50K and shit, they're going to be hot. They're high.
Recording
Right.
in progress.
You break out here, your momentum is going to be limited because you're only able to move as high as your bear flag pattern. So this is a bear flag pattern that's playing out inside of a bull flag pattern, right? So you're building. but you're staying consolidated and you're staying trapped between two price ranges, between the high and the low, building up to the long. Typically, these moves are bear flags because price remains trapped. That means that price is being what? It's being controlled, right? It's being controlled on both ends, the highs and the lows. So that means that there is price manipulation going on. And typically in a price manipulation scenario, they get to a certain point of profitability, and that ended up kind of coming back and pretty much eating the whole move of where things started. This is why you can't get induced into a FOMO frenzy on a breakout without confirmation, right? What would be solid confirmation for this if you're a bull? Well, it would be to break out here, come back, retest, show strength, and start breaking out. The second you break this leg right here, let me do this without squigglies. So if you're a bull, you're looking for this. You're looking for this, right? And you're looking to violate this high. As soon as you violate that high, you're good. You're go. More than likely, price will hold above that zone. You've already violated it twice. You came through, came back, and broke through a second time. That means this no longer exists as far as support or resistance. It's just going to move. This doesn't block anything. And you've got quite a bit of air up here, right? You can move all the way up to the high here, around 37, 38, somewhere around those price zones. So bulls are looking for this ideally, or there's another pattern here too that can play out for bulls. It would play out for bears first, then bulls. So you get your move high, which is your consolidation move, right? And then you continue to reject, and then you come back down and you find support around your mid-range. See this orange line right here? This is the orange line that's running all the way up. That's your mid-range. So you're looking to come back down to your mid-range, which is what I have drawn out here. I would look for a W, right? A falling W. So you got the move here on W, pull up, falling W, lower low. You'll probably get a bull deviation off of this move. This is why I love recording these, because they always end up playing out one of these ways. You get a bull deviation right here off this move. If this ends up playing out and double bottoming on the center, and then you get a big breakout, right? See how much bigger this breakout would be than this breakout right here? Do you see why this is more favorable to bulls than this would be?
It's like a bigger push.
It's a much bigger push. Your profitability for this move is significantly higher than your profitability here. That's why I don't get people that try to just stop FUDing, stop this, stop that. It's like, dude, like you're trapped in two price ranges. You're only going to be able to get so much percent per move. Something like this, look at the percent. Like you're looking at just a ridiculous. If we were to continue to pull across and pump up 30%, right? If we were to pull back, hit this center, and run up 159%. Do you see the difference?
That's crazy how people don't understand that.
They don't get it. They just don't get it. And that's why, like, when people, you're just being bearish, it's like, no, I'm looking at the moves for what they are. And the reality is, if you come in here, you can be you should be more bullish here than what you would be here. You should be more bearish here and more bullish here. But people never get that part either, right? So another scenario too, like we said, the one bear, so it's two bulls and one bear right now, guys. I want you to understand that, okay? For move perspectives, the momentum is in favor of the bulls, right? The falling bull flag pattern is in favor of the bulls. The rising bear flag is in favor of the bears. The fact that price is not broken above the bear flag is in favor of the bears. That's all that's in favor of the bears. Bulls have the momentum, they have the upside, right? So we can't decline that or deny that from a price standpoint. So I tell you guys this because I try to stay as unbiased with markets as I can be. Do I think the economics are horrible? Yes, I do, 100%. But price is saying that things can bid, not here, but based on pattern, right? As long as we continue to hold structure, then price will bid. Now, like I said, if we break out here, your momentum is significantly less than if we were to pull back and break out. And this would be a sizable pullback, right? It would basically almost be a retest of the lows, where a lot of people would start to ignore price, but not realize there's a center line here all the way across. And if you look at Bitcoin as a whole, Bitcoin loves this center line, right? It's not at all declining that. Look, boom, boom. It really likes the center line. So if you think it's not going to react here and it's just going to fall all out, I think you'll be surprised. I really, really think you'll be surprised. I think they'll start to catch bids in here if price came back and got into here, because there's a lot of people holding out, hoping that it goes back to 15 whatever, right? 15.5. But if bulls were to play this, it would only come back probably to like 16. And everybody waiting for the double bottom, because retail doesn't know how to deviations work, right? So retail will end up waiting for the exact price while they skip the bottom and scoot off of it before they get a chance to enter. Just a little bit higher, right? So those orders don't get filled. So this is just how liquidity works. But we can see here, price is pretty trapped up here at the highs. Same thing happened right here. Price came up, bounced up, consolidated, and then when it got trapped at the highs, what did it do? Well, price tanked. Now keep in mind, there's a wick here, right? Big old wick off of this move. Momentum push, consolidation, drop, profit taking, momentum push, consolidation, drop, profit taking, momentum push, consolidation, drop, thinking supports in, pops up, rejects, pops up, rejects. That is the other scenario I'm looking at. Because if we look at this perspective, you got 1, 2, 3 impulses. After a 3-wave count, you're typically looking at a decently sizable pullback, right? Not just a retrace, like the market's going to really start pooping itself. And people are going to freak out and think that there's going to be new lows. I think there's going to be lower lows. If we get a third impulse move up, it's not going to be favorable to bears. It will be favorable to hit the high and take the short from there, but it won't be favorable to the lows. Now, one thing I want you guys to understand is Bitcoin and altcoins will move separately. Okay. I know a lot of you have seen some altcoins move and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss the bottom on all these altcoins. I'm not, and yada, yada, yada. Look, if you want maximum profit, I would say ride Bitcoin into the bull market, right? That's going to get you maximum profit. Why is it going to get you maximum profit? Because you're going to take that Bitcoin and you're going to buy altcoins before the Bitcoin ends up devaluing, right? And those altcoins start moving. Because what's the first mover in every cycle? Anybody?
Bitcoin.
It's always Bitcoin. Alts can remain on the floor. They can even form lower lows while Bitcoin's running. This is the one thing that people so often forget, and they feel like they have to be in these altcoins before Bitcoin runs. Alts run after Bitcoin has found a top. That's when alts run. Hence, what did I say? Alts run after Bitcoin's found a top. What has Bitcoin been doing here?
Consolidating.
It's been consolidating. What have altcoins been doing?
Running.
There you go. So does
I
that
have a
mean Bitcoin's
question,
breaking
but
out?
I have a question about this, but I don't want to ask it to like way towards the end of the session about like these meme coins and stuff.
Oh yeah, we could chat about it. I said this before, and I've said it many, many, many times. If meme coins run, You are done. Okay? It's done. This has been a regular thing since 2021. And before 2021, it was DeFi. As soon as DeFi would run, market's done. Falls over. Now it's meme coins. Maybe it continues to be meme coins. Maybe it becomes something else, right? Maybe NFTs next cycle. When NFT liquidity pools run, your market's done. So always remember that. Bitcoin runs first, altcoins run second. So expectation was a pullback to here. What are we seeing right here? What are we seeing right here?
Support.
Seeing support, right? Seeing support. How good is that support? Looks pretty solid to me. Looks very solid.
3 touches.
Look at this. Is price being controlled? Yes. So what is occurring here? What is occurring here? Anybody?
It's coming to the end of its run.
It is. It is. And you're going to get a capitulation event, but is that capitulation event going to be the market maker or is it going to be retail? It's more than likely going to be retail. Because controlled price like this is a market maker holding price up. So what you're seeing, and you can see it with the wicks. Get rid of some of the stuff on here quick. You're seeing every time price comes into here, market maker has a buy zone, right? What is that buy zone? As deep as it goes, all the way up to where?
The resistance.
All the way up to that support now.
Sup- sup-
So it doesn't matter how deep they take this thing. Look, boom, pushed it back up. Boom, pushed it back up. Boom, pushed it back up. Support, boom, breakout. Hit the top, resistance, drop down, boom, stopped it from going any deeper. Popped it up. Drop down, drop down. What are they doing? Stopping it from going any deeper. And what are we seeing with the wicks? Well, we were seeing a downtrend into an uptrend, right? Into a rejection, another downtrend. And now we're starting to what? Are our moves getting deeper or are they getting shallower?
Man, as far as the wicks, they're getting shallower.
They're getting shallower.
But if you don't pay attention to the wicks, it's really not doing anything.
Yeah, it's not body wise. The agreed upon price is not doing anything, but the wicks are getting shallower, right? So what does that tell you in this price zone that's happening? When wicks get shallower, it tells you what?
That the bears are getting weaker.
Well, we could say bears are getting weaker or retail is what? Capitulating. They're accepting that price will not go down. They're telling themselves that we are solid here and they're not selling their bags anymore. This is called conditioning. You always condition the market before you take its money. You condition the market to feel comfortable with where price is, and you condition the market, especially people that have no clue how price action works, so thinks they can trade, to sell their bags at lower prices while you hold price above their current price. What is your intention with doing that? Well, your intention with doing that is that if they sell their bag down here and they see price come all the way back up, what is that retail person going to do that doesn't know how to trade?
FOMO in and buy back in.
they're going to buy less of their position up here. And then what's going to happen to their position?
They're gonna lose it.
They're going to lose it again. And what are they going to do? They're going to sell it at the lows again. Until they run out, of course, right? And that's basically what we're seeing. We're seeing a fishing of liquidity, right? Now, where this occurred before, prior to this, was right here. Nobody noticed it. Nobody paid attention to it. Right here. They took price in, caught support. Anytime price would break into the zone. Now, where do we notice that this zone occurs? Where does this zone occur? Oh, hold on. Where does it occur? The part they're defending. Who pushed the market? Where did they push the market? Where did they initiate this rally? They initiated it here, right? So what are they defending here? They're defending their impulse move. They're defending the liquidity where they injected liquidity for price. They, whoever pushed this market all at once. And they are buying the zone here to force people to do what? Buy higher. So they're bidding the market up, right? So we're going through the mark up phase, and soon we will be going through the mark down phase, which is where you mark the market up, get people comfortable with price, and then you start marking the market down and get people scared of price. That's the expectations for this move. That's why if you guys have been here and you've seen, I've had my ABC all the way up here the whole time. Because why? From a bull perspective, I want to see them come down and hit this middle and bounce off. I think if they break out here, it's going to be a bull trap. It's going to be a deviation high, and you guys can look up deviations, right? But that deviation will confirm if they get a deviation move high, it will tell me they're going to play the midpoint and they're not going to play the low. Why would it tell me that? Because they've already violated the bull flag, right? The bull flag has already been violated at that point. The high got broke. And what they will do here is they'll take one last shakeout into a breakout. One into the next bull. Now, altcoins, what do you think is going to happen to those during all this fun and excitement? Well, altcoins are going to get wrecked. Because what do you see here? What do you see right here? What are altcoins doing?
I'm not trying to say it correctly, but they're hitting that trend and they're hitting that resistance, so they don't have anywhere else to go.
If I were to remove this, hold on just a second. Where would you think they were going?
Well,
on the
okay,
pattern.
so I have to admit that like I'm not that good at drawing these trend lines and things. So when I look at your drawings, I can tell. When I look at my drawings, it's a little different. But so I just feel like it's not gonna go above that trend on the top. It's gonna start coming down. Not that where the last white one is. Yeah, right there. Like
Mhm.
that's it for that. So it's gonna start coming down. But then also there's a support on that same
Right here?
right,
Or right here?
yeah, right there.
Well, it's
There's
already
a
violated that
support.
support.
What'd you say?
If it closes there, it will have violated that support.
Right. So there's a support there. So if it stays above that, then I would think that it would break that trend. But if it doesn't, then I would think that it would keep going down.
Is it above it or below it?
Well, it's below it, but it's not. I'm not sure if it's closed though.
The trend is 355. We're currently at 352. So if we violate and stay below this price zone in the next 22 days on the monthly, I'm expecting alts to puke all the way down to the lows. Before alts do what? Break out. So if I'm expecting alts to puke, but this is just the altcoin market, it does not include ETH, does not include Bitcoin. If I'm expecting all of the altcoin to puke here, even if Bitcoin goes bullish, that still makes sense. Why does it make sense if Bitcoin goes bullish? Well, what happened to this chart?
Well, because people are gonna put their money into Bitcoin. If alts are puking, they're gonna move their money into Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Daniel hit the
basically.
nail on the head. It's going to be money rotating from altcoins to Bitcoin. That's what's going to give Bitcoin its next leg up. It's not going to be new money, not yet, at least, right? Because most investors come in after the halving, they do not come in before, especially institutions. So it's going to be asset rotation, not necessarily new allocation or new money. And how can we tell that? Well, we can tell that through total, right? So we have total 3 right here. And if we were to open total 1, which includes the entire crypto market, by the way, because you don't know, and we were to come over here, hold on, let me get this. And we were to look at total, there's your total. So Bitcoin overall, the expectation was always to do the same thing Bitcoin did with total, right? Which was what? Do an inverse head and shoulders. I don't know if we're going to do that because the structure seems to be a little bit different here. It seems that we've kind of came down. We've gotten a bullish deviation in the crypto market. So you're probably like, what is a bullish div? Some of you, a bullish div is basically price strength building against price strength dropping, right? That usually means big bounce. What happened? The entire capitulation zone here ended up getting 8 back up. Now here's the trick, right? And here's the crazy part. They were able to not only violate the falling wedge here, or sorry, not falling wedge, but bull flag that was playing here. They were able to get above it and hold. Now, the expectation for me is that they come back to test it, right? So I'm expecting them to come all the way back down and test it and see where price goes from there. Now, if they come back and test it, they're going to come down pretty far. That's going to drop the market down really hard. If they continue to play the move they're playing currently, then they're going to stay within this area, right? This bear flag. Bear flag is not good. We don't want that. We don't want to see that. So we want to see them pull back. Just hit the high of the flag, the falling flag, right? The bull flag, and then use that as support to swing out. That's what we want to see. If they continue to build here, this could be pretty bad. But this bear flag here, it's not very wide, right? You've got liquidity building, but it's not very wide. So you're not going to expect a swing up from a bear flag. You're expecting a swing down. So price can sit here in 1 impulse, 2 impulse, and then 3 impulse all the way up here. to like 1.4, 1.5 trillion in one big swift move off of this thing, just like what Bitcoin looks like it may do. And if it ends up following through with that, you got some good downside, right? You're gonna ABC down. You're probably gonna violate this low around 1 trillion to 1.2, wherever this lands at right here for support. That's where I'd expect this ABC to pull back to. So that's going to be a pretty sizable profit taking move from the market maker. And then a lot of people will be shaken out looking for lower positions, while the market maker will take that swing and they'll move out with it. So it'll be something pretty sizable like this. So it'll be it. You got your 0 into an A. Now this is a sizable move because it's on a bigger thought process, into a B, into a C move, right? So that's your swing out. And then the market maker has to decide from there, are we going to move out into the next bull? And that's I say that's more dependent on halving, right? Are we close to the halving or are we not close to the halving? Right now we're 1 year out from the halving. So if they swing up here and we're nowhere near the halving, more than likely this bigger move that plays out is going to be a pretty decent sized corrective wave too, right? So that means we'll correct way further out than what a lot of people are anticipating, and then move out for the halving into the parabolic move for the breakout. So something like that. The expectation is that price will meet the bottom of the previous 2 markets of the high, right? So you got your information high and you got your blow off top high over here. You got your support zone through here, your support zone through here, and that ends up being the high here. And I also picked that up off the Fibonacci from the low to the high, right? So I ran a fib here for you guys previously and showed you how the low to the high would play out for that. So that's kind of your total move overall. And this is something I'm watching pretty diligently. I didn't like the fact that they deviated up here and then failed, right? So you don't want to see that. You want to, if you're going to see a breakout above price, you want to see it hold above it. What did it do? It built up, then did what? Violated it, and now it's slowly dropping back down, and now it's using it as what? What's it using support as currently?
Resistance.
Resistance, right? So if we continue to, and this is a perfect touch too. Look at that. So if we continue to see that resistance here and we close here in the next 5 days on the weekly, we could see some pretty decent downside from that move, right? So we'll kind of continue to monitor this, but you can see the shift in the move right here, right? You got your high, you basically shifted off the high end of the bull flag. That's where you shifted, and that's where you'll probably come back to retest. That's a pretty deep move. Look at the market cap on that retest if it pulls back to here in the coming weeks. That's bringing the whole crypto market back below $1 trillion from a profit taking standpoint. So if they pull back to something like that, you're going to get amazing entries on a lot of things. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Traditionals are kind of meh. So Tesla came up, information high. What this is, I want you guys to understand this move. This is AM for sure. A lot of people are getting this messed up because they're not understanding. Look, M, and I see this all the time. It's always this pop, and it could pop pretty high into a drop, but this is actually a whole leg as a whole. Even though you get that pop up, this is still part of this right leg. So don't get this confused with thinking that, oh, we're going to turn around, it's going to turn into a W. No. This is going to play out. The M has already started playing. It already violated the center, right? They're going to come back down. As soon as they violate that center again, it's going to start puking. So we'll see how deep that goes. Tesla is one of those weird ones because it has so many gaps on high time frames. You got all these right here where it just pulled out. These weren't even filled. Yeah, you have some wicks in there, but like price has jumped on these days, right? Just massive jumps. Over here, you have a gap on a lower time frame. So like on a daily over here, you have a massive gap at 145, right? You come down here, way over here, You have gap, gap, but this is also not just on the daily on that gap. Hold on, let me pull this back over here. Oh, went too low. On this gap, this is also on the weekly. Look at this. Oh, I guess I might have moved that. So right in here, that's a big gap for that time frame on the weekly. So, you know, these are potentials. I'm not even going to entertain these until we start moving towards these zones. But understand that Tesla has a lot of work. It's got a lot of work to do from a chart standpoint. Not liking it from a chart standpoint. This is your violation on daily here. So we'll kind of see how it plays out. But I think this does play as an M to the downside. And you can see right here, I have my liquidity zone marked here. And that's basically where they ran right up to the high here, hit it, and now they're starting to reject back off of it. Shop looked really good. I like this move. This was the build up move here, breakout. You got over your resistance. So once you got over your resistance, what happened? Boom, big market maker move, right? So this is impulse what? Which impulse is this? Impulse 1. I think Shop's going to do something like what Facebook did. If you look here, you got your low moves. This is your consolidation zone. See how your candles are really small? The second you break your consolidation zone, your resistance zone, resist, resist, resist. The second you broke that, it had to be done with force. So the market maker, this is like a teacup, right? It just came blowing out the top here. And now that move will probably come up here, hold, right? And they'll do something like what Bitcoin did, continue to fake people out. You'll see wick. They'll hold support, and then boom, right? Hold support, and then boom, and then hold support. And then you'll get your corrective wave, A into a B into a C, violating your previous low, shaking out as many people as you can, wave back out. That's the expectations that I'm looking at for Shop right now. I think Shop looks pretty good. I think we'll hold the zone. You got 2 more pushes in Shop, but this is something I've been actively talking about with you guys. So if you guys were looking to take positions, you should have done so. This is another one too I talked to you guys about on the regular, and I'm telling you, you guys are gonna come to me later and be like, hey, should I get in that one? And I'm gonna like, I don't know, because been talking about it while it's at its lows. These are at the lows for Lucid. Like I have been accumulating, even if the market goes to shit. I think these prices can't get very much cheaper than they already are. They don't have any liquidity left in Lucid, right? And Rivian, both of them. They're already bidding below opening price. These are stocks, by the way, for those of you who don't know. ARKK, I think it looks great. Not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of Kathy Woods, but I think she's made some horrible decisions over the past couple of years, but on different positions, and like short sold herself quite a few different times on positions that she entered. But I mean, this chart right here, man. Oh man, what's that one chart with the market sentiment or something like that? Sentiment chart. There it is. All right. Save as. Give me just a second. And then we were to come over here. What was that? Did I not save that? There it is. Okay. So if you were to look at this chart and then look at this chart side by side. Hold on just a second, sorry. Like, tell me your thoughts here.
So, like from the last halving, that looks exactly the same, pretty much.
Doesn't it, though?
Like pretty much. And so let me see.
I
I'm
would
like
say you're
tryna-
probably somewhere in here or here.
yeah, yeah. I'm like putting my mouse exactly where you had your mouse right there. Like I can't see, but where it says AG, wherever, whatever that A word, yeah. Exactly. Like right after that bottom of the anger, right
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, because this is where everybody's at now. Everybody's infighting on Twitter, right? But you can see after the anger phase, what comes? Another lower low. But it's in that price zone where this is. I'm gonna tell you guys, look, some real alpha. You start hitting anywheres in here, just take positions. Doesn't matter if it's here or
Anywhere and
here,
where?
anywhere's in this lower zone. Anger all the way through depression.
Okay, because that's when I said earlier, like, oh, I wanted to talk about something about the meme coins. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about, like, because I thought like, oh, maybe I'm going a little bit too hard, but you're not even. This is not about meme coins where you're circling. It's not about meme coins. It's about just positions,
Correct.
right? It's
Yep.
yeah.
It's all about positions at the end of the day. Yeah, you're intending to make money, right? So you're looking to take the best positions. If you're looking at from a long-term perspective, this to me is a great way to look at things, right? If you're looking at things like, hey, I want to get rich quick, buy a lottery ticket. You could try a meme coin, but you'll probably get rugged. Or, maybe you hit it. You never know. I think more people don't succeed than do succeed. Because you have to think, if somebody goes in with $25 like that one guy did and ends up with $6 million, how many people had to lose for him to get that $6 million? Probably 80% of the investors. Think about that for a second. It's pretty crazy. So what are your odds there of hitting the meme coin and hitting it big? And again, you only make profit if you realize your gains. If you don't realize your gains, they're not gains. You can look at a wallet that says $5 million, but if it's in some coin that's not dollars, then it's not $5 million until you realize it. It's just not. So I'm looking at right now, for me, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm looking at continuing to try and get really solid long-term positions. And if I think we're here on this lower part of the chart here on ARK, they could drag this thing out as long as they want. That just gives me more time. And you can see this phase lasts for a long time, right? The disbelief comes over here. A lot of people keep on thinking that, oh, we're in disbelief. No. I think we're over here. I think there's still more pain to come, but we are at what? What is all this area? All this lower area, what is it?
Is it fear
Accumulation.
or is it greed?
It's an accumulation zone.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. This is where you accumulate. Okay. Be fearful. Look for the exact bottom, whatever. Look for positions that make sense. To me, from a chart standpoint, I mean, I could probably overlay these. I really probably could. And will there probably be a lower low for ARK? Possibly. Yeah, possibly. But where we are here compared to where we were here, am I still getting a deal? I would say yes. I know everybody wants the best discount, but I'm telling you, we're not market makers. We don't get to make those decisions. We just get to look at things from a affordability standpoint and a discount rate range, not a specific price, a range, and we take positions in that range. This is your optimal position to range buy things. And this one looks good for that. Now, again, not a big fan of Cathie Woods. Just wanted to kind of show that as an example of how some of these charts are setting up. Now, if you look at QQQs, should I be trying to buy QQQs? No, I don't care about Qs. TLT. What are you seeing right here? What's going on with TLT? Anybody? What is this?
It's coming up on the end of its run.
So if this were a
Oh,
teapot,
I know. Oh, because we
Good.
went through this. So it's going down. It's on a downtrend, right?
Mhm.
And then it's on a little fake uptrend, but I don't know what that's called, but what I do know is that it's gonna continue in the direction that it was going in the first place. So once it gets into that, finishes with that wedge, it's gonna continue going down.
well, this is actually a rising wedge. So rising wedges.
Yeah, but when it comes to the end, when it hits that resistance right there, it's gonna continue going down in the same direction that it was going in the first place.
it's going to break out first, though. So what it's going to do, it's kind of like a pressurized teapot, right? Boom, 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 boom. It gets so tight, and then boom, and then corrective back down. That's
So,
usually the
was I
expectation.
wrong? Was I wrong or not? Or
Well, you're going to get a breakout first. So you're gonna get a breakout into a correction. But this is actually bullish for now, right? Until that breakout happens. You're building pressure. Because the reason that this one is I think what you're thinking of, Erica, is an ascending, right? Which is a build high into a fall over. What we are seeing here is we're seeing consistent tap, 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 tap straight across while building higher lows, right? So you're continuing to weaken resistance. You're weakening it because you keep on testing it, and you're continuing to put pressure against that resistance by continuing to follow higher lows. So the
see, that's the
expectation here
problem.
is the breakout.
That's the problem. Like I've learned so many things, and then it's like you still have to put everything together.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah.
what with an ascending, it works a little bit differently, right? So an ascending will typically be a wedge that's in a rising type of pattern. Let me see if I can find one real quick. See, this is a descending right here. So that's a continuation, right? So you got the drop move right there, and then breakout, right? So this is a descending. This is where they're building to a pinch point to the downside, breakout. And then you're looking for an ascending move to typically break down, but I'm not really seeing one on here. What I'm kind of seeing is bull flag over here. Or sorry, not bull, bear flag over here. And that's basically where you came up and kind of held those levels. And then violated down. And then you've got maybe an ascending here. I don't know. It's kind of like a V to a rejection. That's kind of a weird one.
I can see how it looks really different though. I see how that looks different.
Yeah, you see how this looks? It would just be this to the upside for a breakdown, right? So because we keep violating the same zone, we're building pressure against that zone, and how we're building pressure is the higher lows. In addition to that, not only are the higher lows establishing that, if you look here too, the RSI is also it's saying the same thing, right? You're continuing to build pressure up on the RSI, and you're kind of like topping here, and that's where you're building. So even though you're building down, you're building higher highs on the RSI. So you're gonna blow out right here to probably come all the way up and hit this resistance up here, and then you'll probably corrective wave consolidation, or you'll corrective wave down, right? So it'll be one of those two. Isn't there a possibility of bankruptcy, bouncing uptrend? Bankruptcy for what? For ARK? Or for who? Oh, an anger stage. It depends on what you're looking at. Like ARK, for instance, right, is an ETF. It's a managed ETF, so they're not going to go out of business. They just reorganize their portfolio essentially. If all their investors pulled, sure, but I doubt that's going to happen. Some people really praise Kathy Woods. So in Art's case, I doubt that's the scenario. If it were in crypto, 100%, anything could fail. It's kind of a crapshoot with a lot of these. I think a lot of them though, they have time, right? They have bear markets behind them. They have time in the market. If you're fearful of low caps or new coins, you can always stick with the blue chips or the ones that have been around for a long time. Will their gains be as substantial? No. But you'll still probably beat the stock market. You'll probably beat the SPY, I think, if you were to go into like most cryptos. Even the ones that probably won't do that great, but will do like 10x, 20x in the next cycle. So that's just my perspective on that one. Energy's looking good. Liking it. Solid bear downtrend, got above it, using it as support. I think energy swoops out at some point, comes back for the highs. This is Total Energies. Exxon, similar situation. You had the Browning wedge. You're kind of, I won't lie, you're kind of still trapped in the Browning wedge, but you're kind of holding support above holding support above the current high right here. Would have liked to see it violate. Man, if Exxon fails this high, you are gonna get destroyed. I'm not. I didn't look at that before. That's not good. Chevron looks good. You got this consistent violation, touch. They just keep trying to break through, and they finally get through. They had the momentum now to stay above this price zone, right? So as long as you stay above that price zone, you consolidate up here all you want, and then you're looking for another breakout at some point. Looking for a big move, possibly with Chevron. Noble is one I've been watching. So this is an actively managed ETF. Those of you who don't know. What are we seeing right here? Anybody?
Consolidation.
Consolidation, right? And we're pretty much no volume type consolidation. What do we see with the RSI? It's rising, strength's going up, right? So have to always be careful kind of judging a book by its cover without assessing its strength, right? So we have rising strength, we have consolidation low. Good potential this thing pops at some point, right? Could get a big move. Yep, bullish div. So this one looks really good. Again, ETF actively managed. Amazon, I would say, look, if you want exposure to big tech, here's your opportunity before it goes. Because Amazon's the only one right now sitting underneath of bear div still. Sitting underneath these bearish lows. I think there's potential for a breakout here. If it breaks out 120 back to a retrace of 105 and then a swing high in that 145, you'll start seeing people bid this thing like crazy if it gets above this deviation right here. Or this bearish high right here, right? This resistance. If they get above this resistance, this thing's going to start bidding. Like it might get a pullback due to fear coming out and denial, and then boom, it'll break out again, come back probably a little bit, or just start shooting straight up like all the other ones did, right? They have AWS. 90% of the top 100 companies in the US use AWS as their front face for their websites and everything like that. So keep that in mind too. They're not going out of business. Amazon's not, just not. Probably performance I think will be pretty good. Typically I look for things that people aren't interested in versus what people are interested in, because if you're looking at what people are interested in, you're chasing. If you're looking at what people aren't interested in, you're trying to front run the market, which both of them at times can be dangerous, but you have less chance of being in a dangerous position front running as opposed to chasing, right? Because if you chase, it could take you 5 to 10 years in the stock market to recover those losses. And that's a long time to sit on nothing. I got into Zoom at 61.47. Definitely a possibility for more downside on this. Zoom to me, it looks bottomed. I won't lie. Look, the reason I think that, it's not just because we're sitting at the lows here. But if you look at this from an RSI standpoint, Zoom can't go any deeper, really, right? And a lot of stocks did the same move, the same swoopy move before. Now, we've talked about this. Round bottoms, right? Zoom could do whatever. It could just zoom right out. I'm expecting this thing to take off at some point. Like it, it could probably do bad to the recession, maybe stagnant for a while, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, just starts running. But I'm expecting Zoom to prosper and still do well. We're using Zoom right now, as you can see. I think a lot of entrepreneurs will continue to use Zoom. I know that COVID pretty much was the biggest driver of Zoom. And now that is gone, as far as, being a factor for people to go back to work, now we're seeing less of a usage of Zoom. But I think over time, if you look at entrepreneurship, it actually grows more and more and more every year. And that's just due to interest and people being involved in that. And a lot of entrepreneurs will use Zoom for meetings and everything else. SMH, semiconductors, lower high, not really that interested in these. I looked at, what's this other one I got here? I had SMH, I guess it's about the same. I had a couple of them, but I guess I closed the other one. Cody, L, so Estee Lauder. This to me looks like a beautiful double bottom. I won't lie. Estee Lauder is looking good. Looking good. Probably catch a bounce here. Could catch a bid, but I'd expect price to kind of stay trapped between these two zones. And you can see it right here, look. Now keep in mind, if this stays trapped here, what this is telling you in a bigger time frame, typically is a drop into a consolidation is what? It rhymes with consolidation. Continuation.
Capitulation.
We can go with capitulation, but continuation. So we're expecting price to continue to move in the direction it was already heading. And vice versa. If we bounced off a low consolidation, we're looking for a move up again. That's typically how these things go. So if we continue to consolidate here, you could play the high and low range of the zone. So when you're down here, you can bid. When you're up here, you can basically put, right, and or sell, and vice versa. Just run that thing all the way across until you can't anymore. Just trust the trend. But it's really well established. You got two pick points on both ends, the high and the low. So your pick point is here, right? Swing in, drop, pick point here, swing in. 1, 2, drop, pick point here, swing, right? We're expecting another swing in again. So they just play the range. That's it. You could take positions on this, I think, and make decent money for however long this trend will last. We'll continue to monitor it moving forward. Alphabet looks really good. I think a lot of people are seeing this though, and they're interpreting this as a breakout move, right? Like Amazon's just or Google's just gonna tear off, right? And everybody's faces are gonna get ripped off in Super Bowl, yada yada. I view it like this, which is basically a curve. Which curves lead to what? They lead to round tops or round bottoms. So if we're going to go around top, we're going to come back down, probably hold support around 100 before we end up moving at all. Why? Why would we do that? Because we want all of your positions. So how do we do it? We bore you. How do we bore you? We're not going to let you get any gains. We're just going to hold price where it's at before we actually make the bullish move. However long that may last. This one right here, Striker, we talked about this. Came back, pretty much trying to retest the highs, expecting consolidation high right here. I mean, this is pretty much up only forever. You got some pretty decent pullbacks here and there, but the recoup time on this is pretty crazy. So you dropped over here in 07, pretty much all the way into 09. and you recouped again over here at 13. And then if you continue to hold that all the way through, you're up just stupid amounts from that position. I mean, 315% there. And doesn't mean you're like, man, I make 100,000% in crypto. You might, or you might lose your money. You have to play some safety, right? And what's some safety? It's stocks. You have to balance. You have to play balance. Kanoko still looks good. I don't know what's up with this weird pattern where they're all like building high, but they basically look like they're curving off. So like I don't know what there's a lot of stocks I'm seeing kind of like with this setup. I don't know if their intentions to like do this or if it's to like break down to support and establish that support, but I don't know why they keep trying to hold it here, even though they know they're going to come down and hit this support first. There's a lot of stocks set up like that right now. Just kind of this weird uptrend half circle thing. Knee, so Nextera. What is this? What pattern? Anybody?
Bull flag.
Bull flag. Expectations could revisit lows. Reality, I'm looking for this thing to rip out at some point. Something definitely to keep an eye on. Because that right there could mean a massive move for this stock. Typically, bull flags lead to just continual, just uptrend, 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 uptrend. You'll see it time and time and time again. You got it right here. Boom, bull flag. And it just runs, right? So moving into TRP. So this right here, TC Corporation, I'm not liking this particularly. I would like to see this thing break down to kind of validate this ascending wedge. And if we could get a breakdown, I'd expect support to be around here. The measured move is down to 2177. We get you moved down to there. I'd expect support to be there and then to kind of bid that from there. So it's going to be kind of a weird one, but it's going to hit this low and then kind of work its way back out, multi-year, yada, yada, and then they'll get above previous high. See, this is the problem with buying a lot of things right now. Like if you were to buy this, for instance, like you'll probably sit here if this falls out, if it falls out, you will probably take 10 to 15 years before you get back up to where you started. Right? This is why you don't get into slow rugs. This is why you don't get into big tech or big money, because like when there's so much money in there, it's going to take a lot of money to get people confident to where they want to come back in. It's going to be a slow mover for a long time. Just not worth the effort, in my opinion. BEP just not wanting to leave this range. It just does not want to leave this range right here. I'm not really seeing why. There's not a lot going on, right? I guess you have some tests over here, right? You have support right here. And then really gets hit right there and bounce. But outside of that, like you're kind of above the low, maybe looking to bid, I think. But you're in this this is a continuation pattern too. So this right here is a pennant. And typically when you're coming from the lows to the highs, it's a breakout pattern, right? So this one looks really solid in that perspective. Cotera, I'm expecting a support test, and now it hit support, boom, take off from there. You got a really big what going on here? Anybody? Nobody sees it?
Breakout. It's definitely a breakout.
Yeah. What is it? What pattern is it?
No.
Fully stiff. Oh, a W.
Yes, I went way out here, but it'll probably.
I
just
do see a
retest of that.
W, but the W is like finished, right? The
Nope.
W is done. Oh,
Nope. Your center is here. Now, keep in mind, I talked about this earlier with that M. Remember on Tesla, I said that M. You got to ignore that side leg. It is a W. It is a M. It's going to be the same thing for this one. So even though they have all these weird patterns kind of playing out, squeeze it together, look at it for what it is. This is a W. Even if this thing pulls down and kind of does all this weird stuff, it's going to break out up to the highs. That's your high position on your W. This is your center on your W. This is your high. You're going to have that W play in. So what did they do? They pushed price up like they were going to go to the high. A bunch of investors were looking for this price zone to take profit, and they shifted away from it. See that? And now they're going to hold down here. Probably a bunch of those people that are looking to take profit up here dump their bags here. Probably still in the green, right? But dumped them much lower than where they wanted to look for lower pricing. Now what they're going to do is they're going to pull back to previous support, probably right in here, which is where they've already violated price, right? And then once they come in and hit all that price zone, they'll eat up all the liquidity in this zone and then shift up and finish out the leg.
Okay, well, you don't see a reverse head and shoulders there?
Oh, an inverse head and shoulders. Where are you seeing that at? Because you would need to test the high. You'd have to have the high point, a test, another test with a lower low, and then you would be up here in a second test waiting for the pullback into your next test out. So I'm not really seeing an inverse because it would have to be something like this. In which case I'd be looking for a whole nother leg. And this never even retested up here, right? Nothing retested the high here. If it's going to be an inverse, it's going to be a retest of the high up here. Maybe you're talking about right here, possibly. But again, you violated that by going far past it, right? So there's a lot of scenarios here where it just doesn't play as an inverse, but it does play as a W. It does play as a W. So it's bullish either way. And I think you're towards the lower end of this. So if you were to spot play this one, it probably catches a bid off the spot. VLO, I think this is the worst looking chart I've seen. Looks like Luna 2.0. I hate these ascending pattern charts where there's just like no period of real downtime. It's just volatility, craziness, and just a massive ascending wedge. I think this company goes to zero. Just based on the pattern. Do I know how long it'll take to play out? No, but this doesn't look healthy at all. In my opinion, just way too volatile for a stock company. CRC, California Resource Group. It's one that I watch. This one's been crazy, man. Like, look at this fallout in 2020. You guys see this gap right here on the monthly, right? Like, I don't know if the stock goes to zero or what. Like, I have never seen a gap like that. I haven't. Like, I'm completely blown away. 246% jump. This is on the monthly, by the way, not daily.
Are you gonna short it, Will?
Like that.
Not daily. Well, here's the hard part, right? Here's the hard part. We're playing against resistance, but we're also playing above support. So you can't go long and you can't go short here. There's nothing you can do here. You just got to sit here and watch this thing play out. And all I've been doing is waiting, like foaming at the mouth, waiting.
So
Hoping.
it would need to break and then retest, right? And then that's where you take your foot.
I'm hoping, all right, that this thing goes like
Yeah.
this, comes back up. I will short this thing all the way down to the scalp. I'm just daily watching this thing. Look at this gap. If you caught this bid on a put, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's massive.
That is the most ridiculous move you could possibly catch on a put, guys. Like that's an insane move. Like you hit this zone right here, you're bidding all the way down. All the way down. This thing's just gonna go. It's gonna print all the way to these lows. And this is the most bearish chart I've seen. And I say bearish only if it can break and retest. If it doesn't do that, then, you know, I guess only up from there. But like, I've never seen a gap that's 248% and has not been recaptured. Like, I don't know how anybody can logically look at this and think this is okay. I'm not. I gotta look at this date. I gotta know what happened here. What made people think, oh my god, look, the gap's bigger than that. I was wrong. Look, I'm only counting here because there's a lot of air here, but the reality is this came from this candle. That's 764%.
Jesus.
764% in a month. That's got to be a record for gaps. If they get to here, this thing's going to print. It is going to print. I think they'll probably stop it here, but man, if they could get down to here, that would be nice. I will definitely be looking to take a short out of this thing if it breaks. This to me looks like something that's going to go out of business. The way that price moved here and price is supporting and looks like it's rolling back over again, not good. You see on the RSI too, RSI way oversold. All they've been is oversold, but they're coming back to the 50. So you want to be careful trying to take a short position here because they could bounce this thing back up, and now you got deterioration on your puts. You don't want to have to deal with that. Let this thing play out. Be the patient bidder. Okay, be patient. So I try to tell you guys all the time: be patient. Let this thing come to you. Don't go to it. Let it come to you.
I think I'll just set an alert under that level.
Yeah, I would definitely set one below. Right here, if it breaks, it'll probably break all the way down to like right here before it catches a bid for a bounce, and then bounces back up, retest the high, and then it's gonna just start just puking. Like this is gonna be a puke. Like if you thought this was nasty, if it gets down into here, it's just gonna start just dropping like a rock. Probably forming lower lows. To be honest with you, this thing looks nasty. And like if you go like this, you could really in reality break structure of the current lows on this thing and end up in a lower low. Would I bid it down to here? Hell no, because I'm taking my money. By the time I get to here, I get $10,000 into $100,000. Like I'll be good from there. On a 764% move. How many pips that? How many pips that is? Oh my god, it's ridiculous. Oh, let's see. Halibutrin. This one looks pretty nasty too, I won't lie. Solid bounces in the zone though. Look at this. Look at these bid bounces here. Really good bid bounce here. Really good bid bounce here. It's like the strength gets better, right? The lower this thing goes. So if this thing were to come back down, expect this thing's gonna rocket on the next one. It's gonna, and it probably will build the momentum to break out of this. But overall, we're still kind of holding the highs here, so we still have potential to keep moving out. Again, if we do that, it's going to be a slow bid. But if anything pulls back to like mid or lower, like expect these things to blow out, right? To just boom, because they gotta create a lot of momentum to get out of there. Probably violate the next resistance too, get above that, and then start consolidating before the next move. So, something I'm watching for on this one. So this is another energy also. This one right here, again, we talked about this earlier. You get a drop, right? So this is the bullish form of what we were talking about earlier with consolidation. You get the drop into a move, into a consolidation, into a continuation, right? So the expectation here is that this move continues to the upside, regardless of what's going on. And a lot of these that look like they can catch a bid are energy, just so you guys know. A lot of them are energy. DGI, rounding wedge, laying the high. Good potential this thing could drop hard, right? Like we are not getting, it's just not getting above it. So the Dow Jones continues to play here. Dow Jones could be in for a rude awakening and just drop down really hard at some point. Euro dollar just kind of consolidating here. I don't think there's really a lot of interest. There's not a lot of price movement here. Oil's still holding. Like this is the insanity of this whole. I thought they were gonna fall out right here. I really did. But if you look really close here, and I was bullish for the longest time. Actually, or not bullish. Yeah, bullish, but I actually turned a little bit bearish on it when this last move happened because it violated the previous low, right? But they continue to catch bids. They continue to catch bids on oil. Just can't get below that position, won't close below that position. They just hold above it. So for me, it's a question of not necessarily if, but when. When does this thing break out? Dollar, we talked about this above a dollar. Dollar's king. Below a dollar, assets are king. That's how you do positioning if you want to play safety. We're continuing to consolidate above a dollar, 101. I think we've been fluttering kind of with these lows, 101, 101.75, so on and so forth. Like these are scenarios that we keep playing and fluttering around. And really, I think that the dollar bids. The fact that we haven't violated the dollar zone on the dollar in so long, it really makes me think the dollar bids. That we're gonna round out, we're gonna roll out, and dollar's gonna pop again, right? And become strong. So see how that plays out. Apple moving into its highs. So this was a falling or a bull flag for me. Now it's turned into a full-on consolidation zone. So this is good for Apple from a consolidation standpoint. It's not good for recessionary thought process, right? So if you're in recessionary king recession, or not king, but team recession, then this isn't positive for you. But if you're in team bull, then it's good. So if you look here, it's kind of like we're consolidating in between two zones. Nothing too exciting. Apple to me, overpriced cell phone company. Potential to retest the highs here around 176.5, but this is a consolidation move for me. I expect they'll kind of hold this position. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for this one. There's really not a lot going on there as far as price action. Just kind of stuck between two price zones. I don't expect that they'll violate this high. I expect that they'll kind of maybe retest the high. This is where people will get super FOMO'd in, right? I don't know what it is with people wanting to buy resistance, but people love doing it, man. They love doing it. They love buying resistance. They don't like buying support, which support is cheaper, obviously. And they love selling support. So, the old saying, buy high, sell low. That's what they love doing. It makes no sense. So, yeah, I think we went through most things. As far as crypto goes, I know a lot of you guys probably have questions about altcoins. Look, I'm going to answer it really fast and really quick. I think altcoins as a market is topped. Okay. So that means all altcoins are probably going to bleed. All of them. Not some, not this one or that one, all of them. Meme coins and regular altcoins. And I think you will get optimal entries. And if you are looking for them, I think they're coming, right? Support is holding here for right now. They could get the altcoin market above support again to try to hold it in the zone. But the reality is that I think we're going to dump. I really would think we're going to dump. If you look here at a higher time frame, looks like the altcoin's sitting underneath the 50. Underneath the 50 is bearish. We come up, probably touch it, and then puke again back down to the 30. If we get anywhere near these lows on total 3, position, right? Not financial advice, but look to take positions, because if we get down here, this is accumulation. It's accumulation. Just like I showed you on Zoom and many others. Okay. 30 is accumulation, especially on higher time frames. We look at Bitcoin overall. Bitcoin did what? On the monthly. Is Bitcoin above the 50? Anybody? Is Bitcoin
No.
above the 50 on the RSI?
It's just under the 50.
It's just
Wow.
under the 50.
Yeah.
But everybody keeps showing bull market. Is under the 50 a bull market? Those of you who've been here? No,
Oh.
They
it's
don't
not.
know.
No, under the 50 is a bear market. Over the 50 is a bull market on higher time frames. So don't get fooled by the market, guys. Like everything's there for you to read. Everything's there for you to see. It's a matter of how you receive it, right? At the end of the day. Any one of
All
you
the
can pull
propaganda.
any one of you could pull up a chart and simply just put it on the monthly. Go look at the RSI. Are we above the 50? We're under the 50. Oh, we're below the 50? Okay, we're still bearish. Above the 50? Oh, bull market. I'm going to start looking to take positions in things that haven't moved. Right? Not going to go buy PayPay at $1.1 billion market cap. Doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys. Like, stop looking at the green. Look at where money can be made. We talked about Zoom, right? We talked about shops already on the move. Shops already on the move. This was a deal. It was a deal. We talked about Nope, right? That was another one. We talked about ARC. We showed how it fits right into the lows of where you should be in the market right now, that anger phase. And you can see it too. Like you see bulls and bears infighting right now, right? Like bulls keep going for bears' throats, bears keep on trying to capitulate, and vice versa in 2022. You saw a lot of bears going at bulls' throats. So it's been a back and forth. People feel like they need to be vindicated. When everybody's on one side, that's when you are in a bull market. And everybody's not on one side right now. There's still mixed feelings on both. All right. We can cover. Let's look at NVIDIA. Even I already know what this looks like. All right. Let's look at Facebook. Failing. Now, you know what's funny? I haven't moved this for NVIDIA. Where are we at? Right at the high of the move. Look at that. NVIDIA may go ahead and bid all the way up to the highs. Really may. And it may be enough to entice some money to step in. May not. I don't think big money buys tops. I just don't. And when I say tops, I mean, when you're fighting all-time high on price, you're not going to get Warren Buffett to go buy your bags. It's not going to happen. He's like, hey, that's all-time highs. No, there's no value there. Look for something on the floor. And that's the process I typically take, right? I'm like, oh, PayPay 1.1 billion. Need to sell some of that. Look at other things. There's more profit to be made somewhere else. And that's how you guys should be mentally, right? Always think about things from that perspective. All right. Any questions or anything like that before we get going? Because I need to sleep. I'm so tired, but glad we could have this meeting tonight.
Nah, we're good, but I was just gonna ask, like, the meme coin is that's over. The run is over.
We could see a little bit of a resurgence, but it'll just be like a dead cat bounce, right?
Like it's a hella pullback, but
yeah. I expect PayPay might catch another bid. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, let's go. Here, I'll pull it up real quick in a second. Show you guys kind of what I'm talking about. So they could catch another bid around where they're sitting. They kind of already violated it. Really, in reality, there's really good potential for them to come all the way back down to here, right? Or even just above that and hold. Usually, once you kind of get this high of a move, you won't get liquidity to come back down into these zones, right? You kind of hold above that. And it's the same thing that Doge did. So if we pull up Doge, I'll show you kind of a similar, and this is, I'm gonna show you guys what I expect Pepe to do also. Don't go crazy and throw your portfolio Pepe, guys. You're gonna be exit liquidity right now. But
Where
I
you
do,
have that line is where I have a order. Like it's my order
right in
is
there?
so low.
Yep.
No, I think it's even lower because I don't think it's gonna ever hit. I'm like, well, if it hits, okay,
could.
then I'm in. But
Yep.
cool.
It
Yeah.
could. Hey, if you get a deal, you get a deal. But let's look
I
at
know it's
Shiba.
like at point something two. It's like 0.0002 something something.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. If you get it, you get it. If you look here, exactly to what I was saying, see Shiba right here, dead, right? Shiba does this first run up, big move, right? Comes back, consolidates for a long period of time. Now keep in mind, look right here. What months did Shiba start consolidating? What month? What month did it
Oh,
drop?
May. It's now May.
What day is that top right there?
Uh,
Right there.
May 10th.
May 10th. What's today's date?
May 8th.
Pretty close, right? Then they
Yeah.
drop down and they do what for multi months?
So you gotta sit on that shit.
They consolidate, right? And then what do? They rally again.
Boom
Almost three
shakalaka.
times. Almost 3 times the previous high. I'm expecting
I
Pepe
think-
to do this.
So that's what my question was. Like, remember when I said, earlier? That's
So-
what it was. Cause I feel like I was like DCAing into certain things that I feel confident in.
Mhm.
And when I say DCAing, I'm only talking about $25 into all the things I like. $25 when it like, but I'm like, I still feel like I'm doing it way too early. I still feel like I'm way too
If you
early.
look right here, look. What's their price right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get up to their high, where they at? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So you've basically taken that 5 zeros at 7, and you pretty much what 10 extra money from that position, something like that. Yeah, some crazy. It's probably a lot more than that, to be honest with you. But you've done substantial gains, right? So how I'm going to play this, I'll tell you guys exactly how I'm going to play this. All right, and you could follow me in this move, or you could not. It's up to you. Is I'm going to give all these altcoins probably a month, maybe 2. I'm just going to ignore them, right? Just going to ignore them. They should do something like this, just like Pepe just fell off. And Pepe should be kind of just trending in our general zone. After a month or 2, I'm just going to start taking positions, even if it's the high or the low or the high, because I don't really know where the high and the low is down in the consolidation zone, right? I guess we could identify it, but I'm going to just be looking to slowly DCA in here. And then once this goes again, I'm going to get out. Now, will I probably get out the exact top? Maybe, maybe not, right? Maybe I come a little bit short of top. But once I get X amount of money out of it, I'm just dropping them. I don't care, because these things are memes. Okay, memes come and they do what? They go, and then they come, and then they do what? They go. You have to understand these are never going to be holds. They're just not. But they're good plays to make money on. Their liquidity. That's it. There's no utility. These are just memes.
A serious question.
Yep.
So I played Pepe, but I played it like a baby. Like, okay, I'm gonna put $75 or $100. And I made like $200, $300 off of it, and I got my money out. Like I made money off of, but it was like baby money. It wasn't like what everybody's in the streets talking
Look,
about.
money is
So-
money.
How do you do it? Like that's my question. Like, so I'll say to everyone, $113. That's what I put in at a certain amount, and then I got like 288.
That's a good
Like,
return.
so I made, so that I did good. Like, I'm happy
Yeah.
with it. So, but how could I have made 100 and something thousand? Like, what would I? Because I have it, but it's about risk taking and all that.
I can tell you how. If you guys are
Okay.
looking for
a mute,
moonshots,
but
all right, go gamble. Because that's what you're doing. If you're thinking you're gonna hold this till X amount of X's, you're gambling. How long did Shib hold its high? How long?
but I didn't
Probably-
say I was gambling.
probably not
I
3.5
got rid of-
minutes.
I sold my shit.
No. I'm not saying you are. What I'm telling you,
Okay.
I'm telling the audience
Yeah, I
here
did though. Yeah, I did
is-
gamble.
is
I
that
did.
if you are holding the bag, you are gambling in an odds game that's you're probably gonna lose. That's what I'm saying. Like when you see profits, realize them. At least realize your initial and some profit. If you want to leave a moon bag beyond that, more power to you. Right? But
I think I'm
understand.
trying to say like I was real pussy, kind of like. Sorry, for the
I don't
language,
think I don't
but-
think you were at all. I really don't. You
no,
took a
because
chance.
like I could have put 1,000 or something, but no, I'm like 25, 25.
could have lost
25,
$900.
25.
Yeah, you could have lost $900 too. He's right on
Yeah.
that. Erica, keep
Okay.
in mind, you have to play to your risk, right? And your risk should be associated by your portfolio size. And you don't have to tell me that. What I'm telling you is like you can do that math yourself.
Another one and compound it.
Yeah. And when you realize those gains, Erica, keep this in mind, right? We're seeing a big pullback. You 2x that position. Now you can get even more of whatever crypto you like. That's not
100%.
as much gambling.
Yeah, because like now, like so I had to start a whole new account in some account. I don't even know what Polynex or Mex, whatever. And I only put like $100 up in there, and now I got $600 up in there. So like, yeah.
You're killing it.
So you're doing good. Doing good. Yeah, just make sure you realize some of that. All right. That's the thing. Don't
Well, it's
forget
all
to
in
realize. it.
USDT. Yeah, it's all in it.
Yep.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm
Yep.
good. Except no, if I don't get it off of that platform, I might not be good.
Correct. So that's what I mean
But
by
I
realizing.
know
all
that. But I know that, and I'm taking that risk.
Okay. Yeah. As long as you understand the
makes
risk,
sense.
that's all that matters.
I've got a little bit there, just a little bit.
Just keep in
Just
mind,
not-
I think there was a crypto exchange that just filed for bankruptcy tonight, which means they're going to probably steal everybody's funds. Let me look it up. And they filed for Chapter 1, which means you're probably screwed, and they're going to take all your money.
But as long as it's not $10,000 like Celsius, I'm good. Like
No, look, it's Bittrex. They
well,
just
I
filed-
don't have anything over there.
No, I'm just saying, like any one of these guys could do this.
Yeah.
And whatever they have on
But
their platform, they could take
I
from you.
already know that. Like I have my ledger. I'm straight. Like if I want to move it over there, I'll move it over there. Like anything that I have out in the open is out in the open. Like
Yeah.
I know.
Because I think with Celsius, for instance, the court actually ruled that all the funds that exist on their platform belong to them, even though they were
Like
customers' funds.
to me that's old news. Like literally, I lost $10,000 over there. That's old news. I don't like. Remember how they say, "Don't risk anything that you're not willing to lose." I don't
Yeah.
even care. Like
No,
I don't even care.
100%.
That's old news.
100%.
Like I hope to get it back, but I don't care. I
What-
really don't care.
The point that I'm pointing out though is that the court ruled in their favor. Why, I will never know. Like it blows my mind that they would think that that's okay to just give them people's money. regardless of
He's
whether they
not
did
the
the risk
case
or
with
not.
a lot of banks.
Yeah, like it. I would
It
think
was
that they
just
should have
like,
to
oh,
dissolve.
for me, it was like, oh yeah, maybe one day, but otherwise, I didn't care. Like that, like 2021 was so good. Like I don't care about that shit.
Well,
I don't
that's the
care.
thing. A lot of people forget about all the money they made in 2021. And they just want to focus on the money they lost. I know a lot of people that made a lot of money in 2020. They lost a lot of money, but they made more than they lost, right? And they probably spent a
Remember
good chunk
my
of it.
sandbox shit? Remember I made like 20 grand off of just sandbox, like off of one little shit. Like
Well, remember you put up that
I didn't
NFT. You're like,
care.
man, I put it up there for so cheap. That NFT probably ain't worth anything right now.
I accidentally sold that shit for 20 grand. Like
Yeah, I bet you can go back right now and buy it for like 2 or 1.
yeah, that's what I did. I bought 2 more for like 2 grand. I'm
See?
sitting on 2 more, just waiting for the next bull run.
See what I mean?
Compounding.
Exactly. See, so you got 2 more, right? You sold one for 20 times what you just got 2 more for.
2 more at 20%.
Yeah. So I think the first one, because I bought it like when they actually released it. So I bought it like probably like 2,500 probably. And I sold it for 20 grand accidentally. Remember, I sold it accidentally. I didn't mean to. And then I bought 2 more. And the 2 that I bought, I bought them for like 2,000, probably like 2,000 each. So 4,000. So I'm just sitting on them right now.
But aren't you
Just
glad
sitting
that
on
you accidentally sold that?
kind of, but not really, but kind of. Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah, because dude, you don't know how it feels to just, all of a sudden you just got 20 grand in your MetaMask. Like, what the fuck? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was at the time, I was mad that somebody just bought my Sandlot. I was mad, but 20 grand? Shit.
Take it.
Yeah, solid profit.
Yep. And now you can sell 2 more in the next bull run.
And
Yep.
I only paid like 5 grand for them.
Well, the thing is that they may be worth even more if
Yeah.
they catch a bid, right?
Who knows? Because I still believe in, that's the only reason why I'm still holding them, because I still believe in the actual land.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Because the
good.
thing is, I get offers every day for that land.
Oof.
How
it's
much
gonna go.
Every
they offer
day.
you?
Oh, probably like 0.6 ETH every day.
Oh, they're offering you. They're trying to low price it right now.
Right now. Yeah.
I'd still
like
hold it
0.6.
for its interest.
A lot of people are trying to do that right now with NFTs. I'm sitting on like 300 polychain monsters right now, NFTs, because I staked all of them, and then I got a bunch of like random ones they gave me for free. And like I sold my e-gold for like I think 12 grand. I probably got like $500 invested in this NFT project. So that's pretty. Yeah, the NFT has been pretty crazy. A lot of money in there. If you know how to pick them out.
And the thing is, like, I have 2, so I might actually build on one of them. Maybe.
Well, if you can capitalize and get your money back for both of them, yeah, then that one it's free. You do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
That's really the biggest thing. But yeah,
Play with house money.
this right here, though, at the end of the day, this is what I'm expecting for Pepe. Just so you guys know, I'm expecting the consolidation, probably 2-3 months. And then when the market crashes, we're gonna get a big crash. You can see they didn't really move in that crash, and then you're gonna see a big boom, right? So over here, you're looking at 1027, 1026. Now, if we were to take that and we were to measure that against something like Bitcoin, for instance, same dates. So I want you guys to understand how liquidity swishes in crypto. So coin market cap over here, Bitcoin. And we're to look at it from 2020, 2021, So let's see, dude, September. If you look right here, October. This was pretty much the top, right? So September, October, November. But if you look over here at Shiba, they pretty much ran right here in September. So they got that first spike with Bitcoin's move, took off. Everybody jumped in, bought the top, fell over. And as you can see, after each blow off top they have, because these are short-lived blow off tops, their floor gets higher, right? But they always have a significantly higher blow off top until there's so much liquidity left. Like right now, I think they're worth $5 billion, right? If you were to look at Shiba's high for the year or for like 2021, I think it was like 32 billion. This coin had $32 billion in it in 2021. Zero utility, offered nothing, $32 billion. So Pepe could do that. We'll see. I think their intention is just to flip Shiba, which isn't a big feat right now with their current market cap. It's only 5x from where they're at, but you know, if they end up falling back, I think it'd be something worth entertaining, possibly getting into. But for right now, it's still kind of a high bid from here. 24-hour volume. Like look at their 24-hour volume right here. $1.19 billion in 24-hour volume. They went up, bounced down. You can see right here too. Look, they dropped down really, and then they bounced really hard. Drop down, bounce really hard. Might catch a little bit more of a bid, and then probably drop down again. I think they're going to consolidate somewhere around here. And that would be the place to get them. If they come back down to like 250 mil to 150 mil, that's where I'm looking to kind of take positions. And then from there, I'm gonna ride it for the next. Again, I'm looking like a month or two out. I'm gonna pick some of this up, and then when they get a blow off top 3x 4x the current top, I'm getting out. I don't care like what anybody says about any project. I'm there to make money. All right. Any questions outside of that?
But my question from the beginning was like, am I DCAing too early? Because
Oh.
I felt good for a minute, but then I think like I might be a little bit too early.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't even said what I'm DCAing into, so I don't even know if you can answer that without me saying what I've DCA'd into. But
if you're, I'll put it like this: if you're in altcoins, you might be a little bit early. But again, what did we say about ARK? Earlier? Anybody remember? Does it really matter if it goes a little lower? Right.
no, because we're already rolling on the floor.
We're already rolling on the floor. If you're buying the top of Pepe, yeah, you could possibly get destroyed, right? If you're buying the top of Bitcoin, yeah, you could possibly get destroyed. If you're buying anything that is running, you can get destroyed. But if you're buying things that are rolling floors, I think you're fine, even if prices go lower.
And I'm going real slow, I think.
Yeah,
To
just-
me, I think I feel like I'm going slow. So
I've been doing the same thing, Erica. I've just been taking little positions here and there. And
like even
continuing to
though
follow the market.
like say today, like, oh yeah. So this might not seem real small to most people, but like, oh yeah, let's say I put $250 just today. And I put 25, 25, 25, 25 on all the positions that I wanted to have on the coins that I want. And I've been doing that for weeks.
Yeah.
25, 25, 25, 25.
Do you know why that's not a
So-
bad position? Because it allows you to remain level-headed. Right?
And I'm buying on motherfucking supports.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
I'm
As long
not
as you're buying
playing. I'm
supports.
not playing. I'm buying on supports. Like, and if I get the gut, if I just want to buy so bad, then I'll just put a limit order in on and I'll just make the order.
And leave
Like
it.
it is, yeah. So it's like, so it feels like you bought something. It feels like you bought something because you placed the order, but it just didn't hit yet.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. That definitely works. I've just been taking small positions here and there. I've been buying different things. Obviously, continuing to buy Lucid, Rivian all the way down. I'm buying ARC, probably relatively near future. I'll probably give it to like September, to be honest with you. So I start looking to dabble on that one. I think they might visit some lower lows. I think they look good though.
Oh, I know what else. What else I noticed, which I don't like because it's kind of like making me FOMO, is like, what's the point of only having like $100 in something? Or, like it really pays to more have like 1,000.
I mean, kind of, but like it depends on what it is, right? So if you're looking at something that like, I don't know, Shiba Inu, yeah, you could say, okay, I put 1,000 there, I might make some money. You could put 1,000 in there, and it might not perform at all next cycle. So like, if you're positioned into something like, I don't know, Arbitrum or like Ethereum, or you know those are going to run. So like that makes more sense to get a bigger position in. So like if you're taking risk, it's better, in my opinion, not financial advice, obviously, to not apply too much risk, right? And again, it's all dependent on portfolio size, like how much are you working with, so on and so forth. Like that's really how you should try to gauge it. You don't even have to worry about dollars, right? Think about things of percentage. Like, all right, I have $1,000 percentage wise. I'm gonna use 2% for this, 3% for that, 60% to safety, 20% to like middle caps, mid caps, stuff like that. 5% to some risks, and then 3% allocation of very high risk. And then you can just assess risk curves, and then just take how much ever if you're coming into the market with $1,000 at a time, break that up in accordance with exactly the same thing as what we just talked about just now, right? Just apply, risk by percentage, and I think you'll perform really well against the market.
Yeah, I think the thing is that okay. So not everybody has been through like last cycle. So I feel like I came in like right during the pandemic and everything. And so I've been through whatever happened last cycle. And now I'm in it this cycle. And so I'm like I'm trying to be like careful and cautious. And it's also like I'm trying to just be educated. Like, okay, I saw what happened last time. Okay. So it's just like, I don't know. I think it's like it causes anxiety in a way. Like,
It does, but
but I
remember
think I'm
last
doing the right
cycle.
thing though. I'm pretty sure I'm doing the right thing.
Mhm. But remember last cycle, I was trying to be the voice of reason for everybody when they were all just foaming at the mouth at the top. And I
And
was
so
trying.
that's also the thing. Like I'm glad to have you, but I don't want to need you.
I know what you
You know
mean.
what I mean? Like I want to like. So the thing is, like, you know how you were calling that top? I want to see it too. I want to be able to see it.
You'll feel it. It's
Like,
not.
what if
It's
you're
not
not
just
here? Like, who know? What if you're not here when that comes next time?
if you're operating in the space and you're just following Twitter accounts and stuff like that. You'll know when you're near a top, even if you don't know charts. Like it's very apparent when the market starts to top, just by sentiment, right?
Yeah,
It,
I'm
it's
not.
up.
No offense,
Mhm.
but I think like no offense to you, but I think like not to say I'm gonna be good like that, but I think like I'm gonna see. I think I'm gonna start getting weary. I think I'm gonna see it. I think like something's gonna
Yep.
happen in my heart, in my sentiment, and I'm gonna just be out. I think so. And I think
I'm
like I already know the DCA out. Like I'm just gonna be DCAing. If you DCA out, there's not even gonna be a problem.
That's exactly what we talked about. Remember, we were talking about this when we were at the highs. Like, look, now is not the time to be buying. You guys should be selling right now. So when you created so much wealth within a certain amount of time frame, you have to take and realize that wealth and then hold on to it and maintain it, right? So you need to always be defensive with your money. Like a lot of people think you have to be offensive to make money. I watched a ton of people like they made like they posted on 2.5 million and PayPay and stuff like that, and 10 million and 5 million. There were people on there posting how they just went and got a Lambo. You got $2.5 million, and your first thought was to go buy a Lambo. It wasn't to go try and reinvest
288,
that.
288 Pepe. Boom. That's my gains.
But what I'm saying is like the thought process is like this is the thought process of the market, right? Those same people that just went and bought a Lambo, they'll probably be broke in like 2 to 5 years. And when I say broke, I don't mean like broke, but I mean like they'll probably lose the majority of what they got just through spending. You got to understand the cost maintenance to own a Lambo is ridiculous. The insurance is extremely high. Like there was no thought put into that type of purchase at that type of liquidity. If you got 2.5 million, you have basically just slung 250,000 into a
That's where
fire.
like they don't even understand. But I feel really comfortable. Like I'm moving to Costa Rica and Panama, both places.
To a house on each one.
Like yeah, I feel that comfortable. Like by 2026, that's where I'm gonna live. I'm telling everybody right now, everybody that knows me right now, that's where I'm gonna move.
I believe you.
That's where I'm putting my money. I'm telling I gotta put it out there right now.
I saw you come in and make money last cycle. You definitely you were first on the scene when it came to NFTs. Like everybody's sitting there laughing. You were over there like, yeah, look at this. This land right here is worth $20,000.
Oh, my horses? Oh,
the horses
please.
too, yeah.
My horses could have paid my rent for like 6 months.
Yeah, it was definitely eye opening when you see those kind of moves. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to ignore NFTs. I'm looking diligently through NFTs, believe me, because I think they'll print next cycle.
Hey, guess what? I'm not touching NFTs next cycle. Me personally.
Oh, you're not buying them? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't buy them at the high.
So.
No way.
I don't know. I don't think so, unless something just I don't know.
No, I'm right now. I'm just looking for way underpriced NFTs.
I know how much I spent. I'm gonna just say it. I spent like 20 grand on NFTs last cycle. And it was nothing. It was literally like that's how much money we were making then. It was nothing. But I'm not doing that shit. I gotta get that 20 grand off this cycle. I gotta like sell that shit off this cycle.
Unload it.
No, not for me. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, NFTs are kind of a gamble.
Maybe like one or two, but not like that. Not like I did last cycle. Nope.
I did really good. I still have a big accumulation of them, but I made like literally like I think 20 times what I paid on just one NFT sale on all my NFTs. So I did really good. I'm probably just gonna unload all the ones I have left and just kind of start reallocating to like crypto projects and stuff. But yeah, I'm talking about. I am still looking actively through them to see what I can find out there, see if there's anything moving. But yeah,
I got a Pepe by the I got a Pepe the other day by the whatever that guy's name is.
Oh yeah,
Matt or whatever. I forgot his name right now, but
yeah, he's pretty big in the space.
Yeah.
Mike Fury or Matt Fury or something like that.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting times. But for now, I would say, like I said, down before up. Expectations are retraced to lows. Good. Just watch this higher time frame support. Again, we talked about this, right? If they continue to defend price here, we could see a whip up, right? You don't want to see that if you're a bear, but that'll be pretty nasty. So be careful because if they whip up, it's going to come up hard. And then from there, it's going to be pretty harsh downside, in my opinion. That would be expectation that they're going to continue to drag this, but I'm looking at it more from year's end. I mean, they could probably do it, right? June, yeah, they could do a June move. So May will be a dump. Probably consolidate here. Alts will dump in June, and then dump after that, and then going into end of year is where we'll catch the more downside, and then we'll kind of come out of that from there, going into the halving of next year. That's expectations. We'll see kind of where it goes. I give you guys a lot of plays though, a lot of plays. Again, California Resources, keep an eye on that one. That one looks really juicy. I gotta catch this one if it happens, man. I have alerts set on so many different things. This ends up playing out. This is gonna print. I mean, it is going to print hard. Like this is you would win in on this put if this plays. Again, I'm looking for a break into a breakout and then just take this thing all the way to the floor. All right, everybody good? Any last minute questions?
Hey, sorry, real quick. What are your thoughts on that Blur token? Because Bitcoin boys were talking about. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Blur? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Blur on here somewhere. It is something I'm actively watching. I did get some Blur, I think at higher prices, but I think it will do well. I really do. Looks like a solid project overall. It's on pretty much everything, right? You got Coinbase, Binance, the whole nine. So let's look at it from, let's see who's the most liquid. That's the question. All right, let's try all three of these. See who has the better chart here. All right, nope. And there we go. That looks like it has more history. And what about this one? About the same. Yep, they're about the same. All right. So Blur has no support here and needs to get back above here. All right. Really what I'm seeing is a break of the low, the support, a drop, a retest. That'll probably swing up one more time, to be honest with you. So they might dump down wherever and then pop up one more time before they end up taking lower positions. But let's look at the lower time frame, see what we got. That's weekly. I got no bullish divs. Everything looks bearish. Let's see weekly. Anything? No, I don't have enough. There's just not enough time on it, to be honest with you. But looks bad on a chart standpoint from bullish div standpoint. There's no bullish divs. Here though, on the daily, it's getting really close to that 30. So that could be the move up, right? So if it comes down, hits this 30, expect that it's gonna probably move up, hit the 50. Could give you some good price gains up to the high here, but it's nothing real big. Like you're looking at like what? Roughly 6 cents, something like that, as far as a move. Or they could even swing and catch above support and then start consolidating here again, which would mean that this right here, this whole move right here would be a deviation, right? So deviation would actually be better for them because consolidation, deviation low means consolidation breakout. So that would be a good scenario. So if they can catch a bid back above support from here and really push to maybe something like this, they'll more than likely hold this upper zone, start to consolidate, and then it'll be a continuation pattern, right? They're gonna move up. So you got the move up, drop down, consolidation. You would think a continuation down, but if the deviation plays out, they're gonna move back above support, consolidation, and then breakout much later. But I mean, if you want to play it, I would say play it. To be honest with you, I think there's better plays. I really do. Than Blur. Let me look at their market cap real quick. Hold on. Ooh, coin market cap.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about like liquidity from Pepe rolling into Blur because of their like loan offerings for NFTs and stuff, but I don't know about that theory.
I mean, Blair doesn't look that great on a chart. Let's see, what's their market cap? 217. I mean, it's market cap's not bad. It's not bad. I thought they were in the billions. Oh, they are. So here's the issue of Blur. Dilution, right? So fully diluted, you're at a valuation of 1.4 billion, which means that they dumped all their tokens into circulation. You're basically looking at getting cut down by like 7 or 8 extra money. Really bad valuation from that standpoint. I don't know how much of this is allocated to rewards or whatnot, so that's the hard part to tell. Let's see, max supply. So if you look at Circ is what they have currently out, right? So 416 million are out. Currently, they have 3 billion they can dump. Right. So if you minus that, it's 2.5 billion is what they can dump on you. Now some of that's probably reward tokens, stuff like that. I would look and see what their allocations are as far as my we can just do that. Blur token. Oh, Blur. Break. Let me think about how to put this. Maybe investments. Let's try to use this. Something that'll work. Oh, here it is. Look. Nope, that's not it. Never mind. That's just a breakdown of like who owns what. Ver token. Let's go allocation. Blur Foundation. Maybe this is it. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So advisors have 1.2, investors have 18.8, community 51%. That's not bad. Contributors 29. Oh man, contributors 29. That's probably early investors. So okay, so here's this is what you want to see. So they have an unlock schedule. So after 1 year, they can dump 468 million, which is what they did. And then year 2, they dump another 351 million. So that should be coming this year. And then year 3, they dump 234 billion. So that'll be coming in next year. And then year 4, they dump 117 million. And so they're going for 40, 30, 20, 10. So this is their breakdown for how many tokens they're going to dump on you. So as time goes on, the allocation for tokens, it's going to kind of weigh on your position, right? So for your release, they got the breakdown right here. This is what it'll take to kind of get your allocation if you're to buy here. So think of it like a stock split. Except,
Definitely not a long-term hold.
Yeah, this is not a long-term play for me. If I were to
Sure.
play it, maybe play it into the bull, but you're going to probably get diluted going into the bull based off of the investment right here. If you can, here's the thing. If you can time buying behind their dump, that's the most ideal time to take a position because you got a whole year before they're gonna dump again. Right?
Yep, you can probably make 5% overnight.
Yep. Exactly. And if
So
this,
micro play through the summer, kind of.
Yep. And if this plays into the bull run, say they dump before the bull run, you'll probably get the most optimal price on their dump going into the bull run, and you can optimize that play for maximum return. So
I watched
that-
Metis do it, and they were like probably one of the smallest sort of jumps after. I was around about 12% straight after their dump. It'd go up about 12%.
Yep.
You know, if not more, 25% sometimes, just because everybody FOMO'd into the rally. But yeah, typically that's how much it was going back up again.
Exactly. So this right here is a buy the dip scenario. If we can find out their investment dump, then that will be a buy the dip scenario. That's where you would look to be getting in. Interesting.
Cool. Thanks, Will.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions before we shut things down? Everybody's good?
Thank you, Will. Thank you.
No worries. I'll get it
Thanks,
on
man.
the
Appreciate it.
Well,
for sure. I'll get it on the
Have a good
YouTube,
day.
post it. What's that?
You guys have a good day.
You too. You too. All right, everybody. I will see you guys this weekend. Again, apologies about the late meeting. I still wanted to get it in like I promised. I just ended up getting hung up on Sunday, so my apologies on that. If you guys were waiting or anything like that.
Please don't apologize.
Thank
Thank you for your
you.
time.
Yeah, no worries. We'll meet again though, guys. Just keep your eyes on the chart. You guys know what my thoughts are. You know, there's some good plays out there. There's some bearish plays. There's some bullish plays. Just take your position depending on how you feel about the market. Understand where the lows are. Understand where the charts are. We talked about quite a few that are still rolling floors. That's where you're looking to buy. If you're looking at things that are green and pump, I need to chase, you're going to get wrecked. Just telling you guys that it's not the market to be chasing. All right. Have a good night.
Buenas noches.